Hey guys, are you stuck in a weight loss plateau despite doing everything right? Well, if so, you're not alone and it's not your fault. Today I'm going to dive into 15 reasons why you're not losing weight, and some of these might shock you, from hidden diet traps to the everyday habits sabotaging your progress. We're uncovering the unexpected truths that are keeping you from your goals. So stay tuned as I share with you how to finally break free from your plateaued progress. If this is the first time you've seen me or clicked on one of my videos, I'm Dr. Ashley. I'm a PhD nutritionist, registered dietitian, weight loss expert, and the founder of PhD Weight Loss. We've helped over 7,500 people lose over 260,000 pounds across the US, and my goal is to help you get the science-backed information you need to actually lose the weight, keep it off, and live the best life possible. So when we dive into plateaus, I look at it as two primary types, the psychological or the metabolic. And I want to go through each type so you understand what ones might be plaguing you. So for the psychological plateaus, I would say from my experience, 98% of plateaus live here. So number one is a fear of getting to a lower weight. This could be associated with a past trauma that was associated or correlated with a lower weight. Maybe that weight has acted as a safety from something that happened in the past. This heavier weight actually feels safe in some ways or in many ways. I've seen this happen for a lot of people, especially a lot of women who we help at PhD Weight Loss. Number two is if you don't believe it can actually happen. If you think you can or think you can't, you are right. So if you don't believe that you can drop down to your ideal healthy weight, then it's really going to be hard for your body to reach that as well. Number three is you believe, but you can't visualize it. Bob Proctor has this really great abundance meditation. I encourage you to Google it. And in it, he says, if you can hold it in your head, you can hold it in your hand. And the same thing goes for weight loss. And I see this with PhD weight loss clients often, is maybe they can believe they can hit that ideal healthy weight, but they can't picture it. And so I have them do an exercise where they sit down and close their eyes and they visualize what it looks like, what it feels like, what it smells like, who they're with. And they create that reality in their mind so that their body can actually walk through the door and make it a reality. It's just like those Olympic athletes. You know, I watch those downhill skiers and what they do is amazing. And they're up there at the top of the hill with their headphones on and they're moving their body, their eyes are closed and they're visualizing doing that perfect run. The same thing needs to happen when we have our own goals in our life, especially when it has to do with our body. Visualizing that lower weight, that leaner, healthier place can be very helpful. Another reason why your weight loss could be slowed is because you could be manifesting the plateau with your own words. For example, I'll never get there. It hasn't worked before, so it won't work this time. I always get stuck at 160 pounds. There's no way I'm going to hit 130 pounds. You know, your words are powerful and you can reinstate that plateau. I look at our brains like a computer and the words program that computer. So you've got to be aware of what words you use. And then another reason for a psychological plateau is if you're beating yourself up. And I see this with people all the time. Oh my gosh, I've worked so hard. I've done everything right. Why won't this weight drop? I'm so stressed. It's not going to drop. I know I'm not going to lose this weight. You increased your level of stress and your cortisol levels to the point where the weight's not going to melt off and it's just going to stick to the bones. So you have to speak to yourself well. You have to give yourself a hug. And I know sometimes that can be hard, but it works if you can really fill your body and your mind with love. And I know it seems opposite of what we want to do when we're in a state and our body is stuck. But I promise you, if you give yourself kindness and compassion, the body will work for you much better. So let's dive into some metabolic reasons why you might be having a plateau. You could be eating the wrong foods. Chickpea pasta, oat milk, cauliflower pizza crust, beans, and nuts as your protein sources. This isn't going to allow your body to drop that weight efficiently. Cauliflower pizza crusts are so tricky. It's why at PhD Weight Loss, we teach all of our clients how to read a food label and an ingredient list. The cauliflower pizza crust, there are some that are fine, but you've got to look at the ingredient list and the label, and probably less than 5 5 grams of total carbs per serving, and then look at that ingredient list, and there should not be tapioca starch or potato starch or soy flour in them. Most of the cauliflower pizza crusts have just as many carbs as their regular grain counterpart because they add the potato or the tapioca or some other kind of starch as filler. I went to Blaze Pizza a few weeks ago, and they had a cauliflower pizza crust, a gluten-free pizza crust, and a keto pizza crust. It makes it very confusing. And so I asked, can I see the label of the cauliflower pizza crust? And you guys, it was just as carby as the gluten-free pizza crust, which is just as carby as the regular pizza crust. I just want you to be aware of that, because if you don't love cauliflower pizza crust, you could just get the regular pizza and enjoy it. Or if you really are looking to get a reduced carb pizza crust, you would go with the keto pizza crust. It's challenging out there. It really is. If you have any questions on an ingredient list or a label, drop it in the comments below, and I'd love to help you out with that. Okay, another reason for a metabolic plateau might be that you're moving your body in the wrong way or not at all. I've done a lot of topics on the way to move your body to drop weight, and it is through lifting weights, lifting something heavy, some high intensity interval training, a little bit more sprint work. It's not from chronic cardio where you get on the elliptical or the treadmill or ride your bike for 45 minutes at a 70% of your max heart rate. This is not going to serve you well. If you're not sleeping, you're likely not going to hit your optimal, ideal, healthy weight. If you don't sleep, your body is going to work to conserve energy, and it's going to secrete different hormones that help to support the accrual of body fat rather than the burning of body fat. If you're too stressed, that will cause a stall in your weight loss, again, because the hormones that are secreted during the chronic stressed state help to promote the accrual of this belly fat, the visceral fat. If you're not consistent, let's just say you follow a quote-unquote diet, or you follow a healthy lifestyle on the weekdays, you can ruin all of that hard work over the weekend. It is super frustrating, and you lose confidence in yourself, and this pushes you then to experience a psychological plateau. When you set a promise for yourself, you really want to fulfill that promise, because that allows you to stack wins and gain confidence in yourself. So promise me that you won't look at a diet as a diet with cheat days. I hate the word cheat days because that makes us feel bad about what we're doing. So you want to follow this lifestyle 80-90% of the time, even on the weekends, and no cheat days. You follow your lifestyle, and once in a while you're going to eat off of your lifestyle, and that's okay, but it's for a very short period of time, and I wouldn't even plan when you have a cheat day. You're going to follow this lifestyle. It's who you are, it's what you are, it's what serves your body and gives your body the most respect. You could be on medications that are slowing your weight loss. High blood pressure medications. We have a lot of clients at PhD Weight Loss need to get off their blood pressure meds because their blood pressure regulates really quickly, like usually within 6 weeks. And when they get off of those blood pressure meds at the beginning, their weight loss might stall for a few weeks because their body's holding on to more water without those meds at the beginning. The body's just kind of trying to find homeostasis and an equilibrium. And then after a few weeks, it releases that and the weight loss continues. Some antidepressants can stall weight loss, and beta blockers can make weight loss a little bit more challenging. If you're on these drugs, don't drop them, but go to your physician and maybe let them know you're trying to drop some weight and what could be potentially a better medication to support your weight loss goals. You could be experiencing the creep, and man, the creep is creepy. This is when old habits and behaviors creep back in, maybe more alcohol than usual, maybe sweeter alcohol drinks, sweet coffee drinks might come back into play, energy drinks, trigger foods, those foods where you start and you just can't stop. Maybe they've found their way back into the house for one reason or another. Maybe you're getting back to after dinner eating when you had let that go for a while. Maybe with the kids home from school, or if it's summertime and the kids are home, you're eating more of their food, just their crust, their leftovers, the little bits of food that they haven't eaten at all all adds up. Maybe you're eating your grandkids' foods and their little cookies and little crackers. They're there and they're sneaky. Maybe you're eating more nuts and cheese. I'm not saying nuts and cheese are bad, but they're just very dense. They're a trigger food. They're very easy to overeat on. Maybe you were measuring your portions before and you stopped doing that. Or it could be peanut butter. Peanut butter. For a lot of people, I'm telling you, if you're trying to drop weight, get peanut butter out of the house. It's not serving you and you don't need it. I know I'm going to have some haters with that, but it's so true. I see it happen all the time. And I'm just telling you because I think it's going to serve you and better you as a result. Alcohol can stop weight loss. It can slow weight loss. For some people, it doesn't at all. But what happens is one shot will blunt fat burn for about 4 to 8 hours for most people. And any drinks more than that will blunt it exponentially. Again, everybody's different, but if you can drop alcohol, it will let the liver burn fat more efficiently. The liver just gets preoccupied with the alcohol. It wants to burn it, wants to get rid of it. And so when it's dealing with the alcohol, all the food that's eaten in conjunction with it is stored as fat. So if you just will not give alcohol, then the best types would be dry red wine or hard liquor mixed with club soda and maybe a squeeze of lemon lime or a squeeze of orange or something like that. A note to you is that tonic water has just as much sugar as a Coke. So you want to be aware of what you're mixing your hard liquor with. You could have a slowed metabolism if you have been a chronic dieter for a long time, and this was the case with me as a professional ballet dancer. I dieted and restricted calories like crazy, and I slowed my metabolism significantly. And reverse dieting can be helpful. I don't like the name of that term, but basically what this is understanding what your current calorie load is right now. Let's say you eat 1,300 calories a day, and if you eat anything more than that, you start to pack on the pounds. Well, that means your metabolism is slowed. It's depressed, and you need to speed it back up. And one way you can do this is by adding about 50 calories a day for a week. So what I mean by this is one additional hard-boiled egg. One egg on Monday, still one egg on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You just have one extra egg. And then the next week, you're going to add another 50 to 100 calories. So this could be one egg plus a tablespoon of salad dressing extra each day. Slowly increasing your calorie load to get up to where you believe your baseline should be without putting on excess fat weight. And this can take 2-3 months or so. So it's slow. And then maybe you need outside support. I read this book called The Road Less Stupid by Keith Cunningham. It's on business. And he was talking about how we need outside perspectives. Otherwise, it just gets too emotional. And it's really hard to see through that tall grass of our emotions. The same thing goes with dropping weight. Dropping weight is complicated. I don't care what people say. People like to just say it's calories in, calories out, eat less, move more, put less in your mouth. It is so much more complicated than that. I'm not saying that we defy the laws of thermodynamics. I'm not saying that calories don't count, but there's so many things that go into play why we eat the way we do, what tweaks we can make. Timing is huge. The amounts, it's just complicated. So if you have struggled, I really encourage you to reach out and get an outside perspective that's not emotional, who tells you the truth, who tells you what you need to hear. And it could be the last thing that you expect could be causing this plateau. So guys, I know I just mentioned a lot of reasons why your weight loss might be stuck or slowed. And I just wanted to use this as an opportunity to quickly lay them all out in front of you. If you're experiencing a slowdown, I encourage you to dig into those mental and emotional reasons, because that likely is a part of the root cause, even if you feel there are metabolic aspects at play. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If so, please subscribe and drop your comments below. Share with the community your experiences around weight loss plateaus and how you overcame. If you're currently experiencing one, share, and I have hopes that we can help break through it together. And as always, share with others who you think would find this content valuable. See you next time.